Said on cold and gray Chicago morning, another little baby child was born in the ghetto, and his mama cried. Said if there's one thing that she don't need, it's another angry mouth to feed. Hey, what's going on? I know it's been a while, but check it out. Check it out. We switched internet carriers and everything, and yeah, so hopefully this goes a little faster now, and I can upload videos a little quicker and stuff. Went from, you know, the phone to cable, so yeah, they say it's going to be faster. We'll see. But kept me out for like over a week, and if you'd heard me talking to the cable people, I'm surprised it's still working now. Anyway, this is the Afterfight Afterthought for the Sergio Martinez Paul Williams fight. You didn't think I'd do it, did you? You didn't think I would, huh? You know, I'm wrong. I'm not always right. I miss some. And anyway, in this Afterfight Afterthought, what I do is I go over both fighters, the Afterfight being the winner, and then the Afterthought the loser, and I go before, during, and after the fights. And I break it down, what they're thinking, what's going on, what's possibly happening, and we go from there, and possible future opponents. So, starting off, obviously, will be the Afterfight, or the winner of this, which was Sergio Martinez. Coming into the fight, you know, there was that scare 30 days out. He was at 176 pounds. They were like, is he ever going to be able to make the 158 weight? You know, he is older. He's 35. It's harder to lose the weight. And then you started hearing things, well, he was fully clothed. He was this, he was that. But still, you know, that's a lot of weight to lose in a short amount of time. And it's never good to lose that much weight. You know, and the officials were actually concerned about it. And obviously, you know, he's got the revenge factor coming in, because he thinks he won the fight against Williams the first time. Many people thought he would. He would go on, you know, he dismantled Pavlik, who was a bigger guy, which put me into a 3-month, you know, depression. And was, you know, you start thinking, was it a ploy? You know, I know some of us back in the day, you know, you could put a roll of quarters in your shorts pocket or something, and you would weigh heavy. You know, you put a couple rolls of quarters in, you weigh heavy, and then you go and you take them out, and you didn't have to sweat it out or anything. You were good anyway. You know, you just try and give them that little bit of an edge, and then realize they didn't have an edge at all. But so coming into the fight, there was a lot of worry about the weight mostly, and how that was going to play out because of his age. The fight starts, he goes in, and they start banging, and he's going up against the guy, and the guy is fighting the perfect fight for him. I mean, kudos for Martinez for going, hey, this guy's hanging, and he wants to bang with me, and he's going to keep it closer. He's not going to use any of his advantages, so I'm going to hammer him. And they're going in, and he's getting in and out, and he's doing his thing, and all of a sudden, you know, that first round, they both landed nice, solid flush shots on each other, but he was able to counter because of the way Williams was holding his hands. And you can see, you know, he's starting to do it. He's starting to exploit the fact that whenever Williams throws a right hook, that left hand is so low that he's wide open for a right hook himself. They get in, you know, they start going more. And whenever he throws the left, oh my God, the right hand's nowhere to be found. So that left hand is available all day long. And that second round comes along, you know, and, you know, they're trading, you know, the opponents, and that straight left hand, or maybe it was a little bit of a hook, however you want to put it, crushed Williams. And there's knockouts, and then there's knockouts. And this was one of the more knockouts, you know, kind of thing, where you see it and you're like, oh! You know, as soon as impact, the guy's not getting up. You know it. You see it. Ricky Hatton, when he got leveled by Pacquiao, was another one. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize to all my, you know, fans in England and the rest of the UK and stuff. I didn't mean to hurt you with that comment, but when you get KTFO'd, you know, that happens. Now, obviously, now you're looking at where does he go from here? Because, you know, people said, hey, he beat him the first time. You know, he's fighting the best he's ever fought. He's on the rise. Does he fight Sturm for the WBC title? You know, to unite the division. Does he go against Sylvester for the IBF title? These are obvious. I would say a big no to Pacquiao, just because I don't think Pacquiao would fight him. Honestly, if Pacquiao is smart, this is probably one guy you probably should avoid. And but is it him being better, or are his opponents more tailor-made for him? Paul Williams has been exposed, and maybe Paul Williams is realizing now he should have took the Kelly Pavlik fight as opposed to a slicker boxer. Was the Kelly Pavlik, we know the blueprint's out on him now, unfortunately, that he for some reason refuses to learn how to box a little bit himself and fight boxers. Are the opponents tailor-made for him, or is he really hitting his prime at 35 years old? Either way, he's looked so good in his last 3 fights that you got to give him the benefit of the doubt, and you have to roll with it and say, hey, let's bring these other champions on, let's unite the division, and get this going, and then maybe an Arthur Abraham or something like that comes back down and gives a big money fight to him or something. I don't see him going up to 168. I don't think that's an intelligent move at all, being he's 5'11", with the shorter reach. I don't think that's wise at all. He should see what's happening to some of the smaller guys trying to step up into the 168. But kudos to him. Great showing. And now let's go to the afterthought, and that's Paul Williams. Coming into this, he beat Martinez. It was a questionable call. People are saying, hey, he won. And others, more are saying, no, he didn't. He had, I don't know if you could call it a fight with Cintron. One judge had him losing, one judge had him winning, one judge was trying to, grade the dive that Cintron did as he flew out of the ring. And, so he didn't look great heading into the fights. But the one thing we had was the next fight. After his loss to Quintana, he comes back and destroys him in a first-round knockout. So, was it lack of focus? Did he have lack of focus in the first fight with Martinez? Was he not paying attention? Did he not train as hard? All these factors you got to think about, because the only basis we had to go off of, or that I had to go off of, was the one rematch that he had, and he absolutely dominated and destroyed his opponent. So with that in mind, and you have a struggling 35-year-old losing weight, who should be coming into the ring a little bit weaker, a little bit drained, this pulls right into Williams' wheelhouse. So the fight starts coming, and it's fight day, and he goes in there. He doesn't use his reach. He doesn't use his height. Every advantage that he has, he throws out the window, and he decides he's going to start trading with Martinez. They get in there. He's landing flush shots. He's getting caught with some. Seems to be shaking them off pretty well. And the first round ends. They traded back and forth. It was fair to see. He's getting in there. They trade shots. He's getting hit flush because, oh yeah, I got no defense. You feeling me? It's like he just said, I don't need a defense. Well, guess what? You're not fighting smaller 147-pound guys now. You're fighting dudes that are your size, that have your power or more. He thinks he's got Martinez hurt. In the second round, he rushes in, and they start trading shots. And then suddenly, a leprechaun ran in the ring and turned out his lights, man. It's like, time to go to bed, baby. Your day's over. Yeah, it's all like that. And he's now lost, arguably, 2 fights in a row to Martinez. And anytime you think of a guy with an 82-inch reach trading hooks with a guy, it's ludicrous. It should never happen. He's 6'2", 82-inch reach, trading hooks with a shorter dude with shorter arms. You're not winning that battle. Sorry. The first thing on the agenda is he's got to wake up. I think that's his main focus right now, is to actually wake up from the fight. The bigger guys appear to be too much for him, especially if they have any with the boxing ability and stuff like that. He gets hit too flush, too often to be in the ring with bigger guys. It's sorry, he does not fight to his real style. 82-inch reach. You shouldn't be fighting on the inside. You can basically hit the guy as soon as they say go out of your corner. 82-inch reach is freakish. Anyway, now you see why he fights at the 147 and the 154s. He's not a big guy. He has a small frame, really long arms, and he's 6'2", but he has a small frame. Forget Pacquiao, forget Mayweather. Well, Mayweather might sign him up, but forget those guys. Maybe a rematch with Cintron. Maybe there's some money in that. Maybe the fight with Pavlik, since both of them have something in common. They've both been beaten by Martinez. Maybe Sergio Mora, but he could have a flashback with the Sergio name and freak out. Oh my God, Sergio again. And get out of the ring. But it's kind of limited. I don't really see him challenging for any of the bigger titles because he doesn't have that ability. People say he's the most feared guy. I think now that he's been exposed a little bit, he'll probably get more fights. More fights will come out of the woodwork, but it's not going to be the elite guys because, once you're exposed like that, it's kind of, it's harder to justify those fights. He's going to take a few fights to get back up again. He's going to have to go on a 3-4 fight win streak before you see him legitimately fighting for any title. And that's pretty much it on this one. I mean, when you think about it, yeah, that's about it. I was wrong on my prediction. I will admit that. I have no problem admitting that. I don't think anybody predicted a second round knockout. I don't think. Anyway, comment, rate, subscribe if you like. Yeah, this is Bigragu. I'm out. Golden gray Chicago morning.